Morning, everybody. My name is Michael Weinstein. I am president of the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. We've been waging a campaign for several years for mandatory condom use in the porn industry. I want to say that, as has already been reported, that Derrick came into our care without us being aware or knowing who he was. So he was treated as any patient seeking care would be treated. And it was only after he was in care with us for a period of time that he approached us to say that he wanted to speak out. I personally, salute him for, because anyone in front of a bank of cameras like this and anyone talking about, a highly personal topic such as this, it takes a lot of courage, and I know that he's doing it because he hopes that it will help other people in his circumstance.
As I'm sure you all know, my name is Derrick Burts, D-E-R-R-I-C-K. Last name Burts, B-U-R-T-S. Referred to also known as Patient Zeta from the latest outbreak back in October. I'm here to publicly speak out for the first time in regards to the entire situation. I know this has garnished a lot of media attention. When this all first happened, I was very scared, worried for my life, concerned, when you're first diagnosed with HIV and you have 3,000 stories covered on it and people saying things, it's a very scary thing. And when you don't know who to turn to and you only have AIM, the clinic that diagnosed me positive, telling you to stay away from the media, stay away from public, change your phone number, get out of town, stay away from AHF, all these things. You don't know who else to believe except for them because you feel like they have it in your best interest. It's now been 2 months later, and I'm more aware of the situation, what's happened, and I'll go more in detail with that in a little bit here. And I'm not happy with the way things went down with the clinic, and I'm here to speak out against that so it doesn't happen to other performers. When you get into this industry, it's not something you're thinking about when they fill your head with all this stuff and they tell you that the testing is there in place to protect you. They tell you you'll get tested every month. They have a clinic in place for performers called AIM, and this is a place where you go to get tested every single month to protect you from getting STDs and HIV. So actually, I felt that with this in place, I was more protected than outside in the real world where I wasn't being tested or such. Basically, I got into porn, so I've been in it for 7 months. I tested every single month, and the main reason I want to speak out is because of the importance of condom use. When I shot on set for straight shoots, I don't think I've ever seen a condom on set. When you first get into porn, you don't know that you even have the option to wear a condom. I've spoke with several performers, and a lot of them do feel that they would love to wear condoms, but the fact is they're afraid to speak out because they feel that if they tell the producer that I would like for the person to wear a condom, then the producer's not going to work them. After being in the industry for 1 month, I came up with 3 STDs in a period of a month. I came up with chlamydia, gonorrhea, and herpes. When I got herpes, that was the point that I decided I didn't want to do porn anymore. Because that was a really serious thing, something that's with you forever. And I told my agency that I wanted to get out of porn because of the herpes. At that point, they then told me I might as well just continue because everybody else in the industry has it, and now that I have it, I might as well just keep performing. There's no turning back. Now that you have it, you might as well just live with it. So, I was like, well, I do have herpes. He's kind of right. I already have it. Everybody else has it. Okay, well, I'll take the medications every day and I'll be fine. And I can go back to work. And so that's what I did. And that should have been enough reason to stop right there. And I continued to do it. Maybe it was greed. I don't know. But I continued to do it. And I continued to go and test. It was in September that I started doing gay shoots. When I first started porn, I did not do gay porn. Whenever I did a gay shoot, I would make sure that there would be a condom in use for that. Not only did they have condoms, but they had boxes of them. I mean, they're at your disposal, so not only would you wear one condom the entire shoot, you're changing them out constantly. Getting into gay porn, I knew that there was a higher chance of getting HIV. That's why, I agreed that if I was to ever do a shoot like that, there had to be a condom used. Fab Scout was my agency for gay porn. Howard was my agent, so at that point, I didn't know who to turn to, so I called him. And Howard tried to reach out to me several times by phone call. I wouldn't take his call. I wouldn't take anybody's phone call because that's what I was advised to do. Don't talk to anyone. So when I got on the phone with Howard, I was crying, and I just told him I was scared and I didn't know what to do. And he said, "That's all right. You have every reason to be scared." And he said, "You know what? From here, I have some really good friends I'm gonna get you in touch with." And he said, "Before anything, if you need to come out here to Florida for vacation or anything to clear your mind, we'll do that. But the first thing you need to do is get into care." And at that point, he got me in touch with their attorney, the agency's attorney, Norm Kent. At that point, he said the first thing I needed to do was see a physician and get care and get my questions answered. That way I can get support from my family because I didn't want to tell my family until I got that taken care of. So the next day, his office is actually right next to AHF, the AIDS Healthcare Foundation in Florida. They have a big headquarters building there too, right next to his office. So he went in there and he told them that there was a patient who'd gone about 2 months without care. They didn't mention that as patient 0 or anything like that. And then they got in touch with the offices out here to set up a meeting or for me to see a doctor. But that really, at that point, I still didn't know if I wanted to talk to the media. But it was after that I knew that I wanted to come forward with this. And the reason that was is because it really opened my eyes. I went 2 months without treatment from AIM, broken promises. And I got on the phone with Howard, and then 24 hours later, I'm in the care of AHF. And that spoke volumes to me. I went 2 months without help from anybody in the industry. No producers reached out to help me. This multi-billion-dollar company or industry, they can't get it together to help their performers. That really hurt me and it let me down. And it makes me think, how many people have to go through this before the state steps up and county steps up and they do something about this. You have Steve Hirsch and Larry Flint and these multi-millionaires in this industry, and they can't put something together for their performers to protect them. And that really bothered me. I had to go to AHF and county to come here to get treatment. And that's when I realized, something needs to be done because all AIM wants to do is protect themselves and say that their testing protocols is enough and that it works. That's when I started doing my research, and I hear that condom use is already mandatory in the industry. It's just not being, it's not being pushed. They're not following through, and that really upsets me. Just like a construction worker goes to work, they have to wear a hat. We as performers need to wear condoms. No testing, no amount of testing in the world can prevent you from actually getting an STD or HIV. The real importance comes down to wearing protection, and even protection can't guarantee you from getting it, but it does help reduce it by a lot. If you think about it, I tested September 3rd. That was my last negative test. It was October 9th where my first positive test came back. They test you once a month. That gives you a 1 month time frame of catching an STD or HIV and giving it to someone before you test again. So how that protects a performer, I don't know, because you can go out and get it. I got it in mid-September, is what they think. Luckily, I didn't work with anyone from the time I got it to the time I tested again, which is maybe why I didn't give it to anyone else.
I just wanted to say a second is that, in terms of the responsibility of the industry, that Derrick's care is now being paid for by public funds and by AIDS Healthcare Foundation. So, when the industry talks about, the lost revenue if they leave the state, we should also look on the other side of the ledger about the costs associated with the care, which is about a $600,000 lifetime cost for each person that becomes infected, and there have been 9 in the last 5 years. But I would say that the point is that the industry is saying that the testing protects the performer. Okay? That's what we're discussing. Does the system that's in place now, we're not against pornography. We've made that point over and over again. AIDS Healthcare Foundation is not against pornography. We're for protecting the performers and we're for educating the public. Okay? You don't have to have condomless porn. It's not necessary. So, if the trade-off is 4,000 STDs and 9 HIV infections versus, a condom, I think the condom is a better deal. In a lot of jobs where there's worker protection, there's still the possibility of injury. Okay, so we're not saying that even with universal condom use and testing, that all the risk is eliminated. What we're saying is that we can eliminate a substantial amount of the risk.